Good morning, Realty Executives.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Good. We're really excited to have on our docket today credit report person. We're going to have a hard money lender, I believe, coming in. But before we start, I'm really excited to have Connie Lopez, who is our in-house lender, and she's going to give some great updates on what's going on with the lending industry. So why don't you guys put your hand together for Ms. Connie Lopez.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
As many of you guys know, I'm right here in the little room right here. So I'm set up with LoanStream now, and I am available to you guys for any credit report, DUs, pre-approvals. I can do them as fast as maybe an hour. So if you guys need me, I'll be right here. And anything you guys need, I'm right here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Connie. Now, you know what, it's my really pleasure to bring on the gentleman that actually is behind the scenes, that does the recording, the management. You know, we never see him, but this is really my honor to bring the guy that makes all the magic happen with the videos. Like, guys, I want you to put a thundering applause together for Mr.
Thank you, Michael. That was a great introduction. I appreciate that. I'm here to introduce Rolando. We started with Rolando last year. I was introduced to him by Jesse and Lena, that he actually did a good job with a couple of their clients. So that's why I reached out to him. Matter of fact, I haven't got the pleasure to meet him front to front other than last week on the meeting. But we've been chatting over texts and phone calls. So he is working on a file right now, and he's probably going to explain a little bit how that's going and probably give us some thumbs up on most of the clients that we have, and they have issues with credit. So Rolando, give it a hand to Rolando, and I'll just leave it up to him.
Thank you. I usually speak with the microphone, but I guess today is a first, right? So my name is Rolando. And thank you for inviting me here. I am the owner of Credit Repair Solutions. I've been a credit expert, well, just recently, but I own my company, Credit Solutions, for the past 8 years. This is my 9th year, and we work with you guys. You guys are my clients. Your clients are my assistance clients. That makes any sense, right? Because I work directly with you, because you guys come across people that they have the dream of wanting to buy a home but can't because they have credit issues, right? And since it would be detrimental to me what you don't qualify, can't help you buy a home. Sorry, go find a co-signer. Like, there's co-signers lined up waiting for people to use them, right? They don't exist anymore. So what we do is work with you guys to be able to develop a relationship that would help you grow your business by helping those clients that do not qualify for the moment, for the time being. We do have a staff, we're a staff of 5, so I don't do this on my own. All I would do is credit repair. We're able to add trade lines as well. We're able to help set up collection accounts, charge-offs. We are able to get deletion letters for collection accounts. For charge-off, that's a little bit harder to get, but you have accounts that are in collections. It's more of a lender's job, but if you have accounts that have in collections, we're able to settle them and able to add trade lines here. But before I get started with the whole how we work, we've already started, right? But who here remembers their first credit card? For your first credit card. Who here remembers their first credit card? That was way back in the days. The first credit card, right? All right. Then, yeah. So when I got my first credit card, I was 18, right? I went, had my first job, got my first paycheck, and I went to go open an account. And the teller said, "Okay, young man, would you like to have open a credit card?" I had no idea what a credit card was. I said, "Okay, I'll open a credit card. What is it?" It's a card, and back then they used to give us a temporary card. It wasn't like now you have to refer in the mail. They gave me a temporary card that I could use the same day. It was an $800 limit, and hence my mom was with me. She didn't tell me how to use it. So if you do this, it'll go that way. If you do this, it'll go that way. No, whatever you're gonna go buy. I maxed it out in one day, right? And then, I get more credit cards. I'm in college now, walking around. Before this, they give you sweaters if you apply for a credit card. Now that's illegal, because a student, he acquired so much debt from getting free merchandise, and he committed suicide. Because he was ashamed that his parents, who were paying for his school, he acquired $60,000 in debt, and he hung himself because he was ashamed to tell his parents I have all this debt. The mom sued, and now it's illegal to entice young people, so you know what, if you apply for credit, but I'll give you a sweater. They can't do that anymore. So back to my story. I went to go buy my car, right? My dad went with me. I have bad credit. Why? Because I don't know that I have to pay on time. I don't know that if I don't pay my target account by 5 p.m., I'm going to be reported late, right? I will go pay whenever, if it was 8 o'clock, I'll go pay it. So I had a lot of late payments. And then my dad went with me to go buy my car, and he didn't tell me, son, if you miss payments, this is going to happen, or here's why you have bad credit. I went to go buy a car, he co-signed for me. He didn't say, well, I'm co-signing for my son who has bad credit. And one is, wow, why does he have bad credit? What did I do wrong as a parent for my son to have bad credit? He didn't teach me anything. So 2 incidents. My mom and dad, they failed to tell me how credit works. Now, that is most of us here, most of your clients. The reason why people have bad credit is not because they send in their payment late. It's not because they have repossessions, they have collections. It's because they don't understand how credit works. I don't know how credit works. I became my first client, and I would hire me again, right? But it's not until you want to make a major purchase, like buying a home, buying a vehicle, where credit plays a role. Then that's when you understand, oh wow, I don't qualify because I have bad credit. You tell me I can't buy that home because I have bad credit, and how can I fix it? Are there any options? Who can help me? But most of all, before who can help the client is, well, let's change this here. So we're creatures of habit, and we don't know how something works, we're not going to be able to use it, right? If I give you a laptop to hear and use it, but you don't know how it works, you're not going to be able to use it properly. It might take you a long time to figure it out, which we can figure out how credit works by making mistakes. So the thing is that most of your clients have bad credit, right? I mean, you do with clients that have more bad credit than good credit, unfortunately, right? It's good for me, but bad for you guys, right? Yeah, it was the other way around, because lack of credit education is something that affects a lot of people. Affecting me, might affect you, it's definitely affecting your clients. That's why it's very important to understand that if someone has bad credit, let's not judge them to say, you know what, these people don't qualify right now, because they don't know how credit works. It's just with a little bit of guidance. So what helped us be successful is to really educate your clients. You want to be able to change the mentality that got them there first. Why are they late? Why are they not taking the credit serious? Maybe they don't understand how credit works. So our job as credit professionals, as my job, is to really educate your clients, because I would hate to repair your client's credit, then go out and buy a home. Now they have a valuable asset, and they're still making the same mistakes. Now that asset is at jeopardy. They could put liens on their property. They have something they can come after for. They're going to come after, very, very strong versus them not having assets. Because that's just kind of a little bit as to why I believe people have bad credit. And those that have bad credit, we don't judge them. I was in the shoes. I used to have bad credit, but it's not until I took the time and effort to be able to understand how credit works. Now, I work with over maybe 150 realtor agents, just like yourself, that are in the business of helping people achieve their American dream of home ownership. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't qualify because they have bad credit. My job is to be that source, to be that referral partner for you when you come across someone that has bad credit. Much like your lender, you want to work with your lender to figure out what could be done to increase the credit score. But it's always good to have someone like myself, or whether it's my company or another company, someone in your corner that would help you when you have those scenarios of people that don't qualify. Because when it comes to repairing the credit, I mean, something can be repaired in 2 weeks. Sometimes it could take a year. It depends on what needs to be done. Just see it this way. If the credit can be repaired faster, it's going to cost more money. Not so much money for us, or more money for the client, because obviously they have to pay a little bit more. They might have to settle accounts. They might have to add some credit. It's just that the quicker, the more expensive for your client. But I hate to say the word expensive. It's an investment, but there is no such thing as a quick fix that's cheap, in other words, right? Either you want it, when this thing goes, you want it quick, it's not going to be cheap. You want it cheap, it's not going to be quick, right? So just know that when it comes to credit repair, the way that I work is that I like to be, if you want to be involved in the process of you putting in contact with the client, then that's great, but I would rather you focus on what you do best, which is sell real estate, right? We take care of the client and have a team of 5. And I believe that what makes anyone successful, and I found out what makes us successful, is 3 things. Number 1 is communication. Having communication. If you call my office, I might not be able to answer your call, but I'm going to have someone from my staff give you a call within 24 hours and communicate and address any questions you might have regarding a new client or regarding a client already in process. Number 2 is follow-up. We follow up with you and your clients because we understand that your client wants to know what's going on. They don't want to be kept in the dark. We don't want to send a client in and not know what's going on with the client, because the better you know that where the process is, the quicker you can turn around and sell them a home, right? And then number 3 is results. They want, if this communication is great, follow-up is great, but then the results are not happening, then we're not fixing the credit. So those 3 things, our results are very, very great. If we say we can help your client, we definitely can help them. So that's those 3 things that I know that you guys really appreciate working with the credit repair company, because I ask those questions. I mean, who here has worked with the credit repair company before in the past? Are you still working with them, if I may ask that question? No? What was the number 1 thing they failed to do? Was it any of those 3? Communication, following up, and then the results was just not good? That's what matters to you guys the most, not anything else. There might be other stuff, but what matters the most is if they communicate with you, if they have the team, if they are going to follow up with you and your clients, and then the results. You guys want results because you want to be able to refer someone and then us send them back to you, right? So you have a pretty cool portal that's not really used, but it's available because you guys are really busy. But we have a portal that allows you to log into our system, and you can view each client we have with us. You can click on Mary, Joe, Steve, and you can check the status of what's going on, what's deleted, what's still working on. And then when your client logs in, we promote you back to your client, because we don't want them to be out of sight, out of mind. Because there's many other agents who are contacting your clients, and if you stay top of mind, whenever they're ready, they're going to come back to you. So when your client logs into our portal, they see your picture, they see all your information. Because they have a question, they could contact you right there and then, which I think is pretty cool. But you guys don't use it, right? Because you guys are really, really busy. So when it comes to credit repair, what are some stuff that we can't delete, right? You're just probably asking what we can't delete. Any type of student loans. If they're federal, we can't delete them. That's something that we just cannot. We can help your client work out a payment agreement, but we can't delete them from the credit report. Any type of recent foreclosures, recent short sales, those we're not able to remove them from the credit report unless they're older. Child support. If someone is delinquent on the child support or has child support on the credit report, that is something that we cannot touch. We're not able to remove it. That's something that has to stay there. The third one is any type of tax liens. If someone has tax liens, if they've been paid, we can remove them. But if anybody has any state or federal tax liens on the credit report, we're not able to remove them from the credit report. They have to, if they're federal, they have to be on a payment plan, and it has to be under $50,000. Well, if they already made and this goes for all of us too, because we hate paying taxes, right? If anyone has any federal taxes on the credit report, it's under $50,000, and you made your 4th payment already, I can delete it from the credit report, only if it's federal. Not if it's state, it'll be there. So those are 3 accounts that we're not able to remove, which again is student loans, child support, and any federal state taxes that are unpaid. Any other type of account, such as collections, charge-offs, repos, foreclosures, short sales, the older they are, the quicker we can delete them from the credit report. If someone has a collection that's 5 years old, I would recommend it paid off, unless the lender says, you know what, DU does not want this collection here, we have to delete it. But then I wouldn't recommend it paid off, because anything that's older, it's not affecting the credit score as much as something that is newer. Like a late payment done today, it's going to affect you more than a late payment that was done 2 years ago. So, because I've been doing this for my 9th year, and I've worked very close with a lot of lenders, I know pretty much what we have to attack that would have the most impact on the credit score, versus going and just throwing, disputing everything, hoping everything falls off. Those days are over. I did in the beginning, but now it's more of a strategic way of really boosting the credit score, because if you see a client, you want him or her to be ready as soon as possible, because you want to turn, sell them a home, you get paid, right? You're not going to pay by sending me clients, you're going to pay by closing them. So my job is to send them back to you, and my job and my staff is to really look for ways strategically that we can help boost the credit score faster, so that way it's not taking several months. Now, that's what I can do. Your client has to do a little bit of effort. Not only after making an investment to repair the credit, they have to do a little bit of footwork in regards to working with us. And the reason why they have bad credit is because they lack commitment. They're all over the place. They don't understand that staying on track with something is going to give you positive results. If you pay your stuff on time, you're going to have a good credit score. A lot of our clients don't do their part because they're all over the place, right? They have to give us letters, they have to give us stuff. they don't do it on time, and then that tends to prolong the process. So we do everything we can to work with the client. If your client is not doing their part, my staff's gonna contact us, you know what, your client is not doing their part, go ahead and give them a little nudge, because we want you to let your client know. They hear from you, hey guys, you want your credit fixed, you have to continue doing what they tell you to do. Some clients don't. And I would say about 35% of them don't follow through, and then, you know, we don't want you to think that we are helping them when in reality we're not, because they stop contacting us. Not make any sense? Yeah. You guys have any questions so far? Anything that you might have heard about credit that you might feel you want someone to answer in regards to some advice? Yeah.
Rolando, what about on liens? You know, we bump into sellers who wants to sell their property, they got liens. They've been, how old or how long does it take they will stay? If it's a credit card, whether...
So if it's a lien, it means it's already became a judgment, it means you were sued.
Right.
Okay, so in California, if I sue someone, if I sue you for a debt, I have 10 years to collect the debt, then I could renew it for another 10 years before the 10 years. So technically it's 20 years.
So you
But I have to renew it before the 10 year expired. And then it'll be on your credit for that long.
for 10 years.
10 years plus an additional 10 years.
So there's no way you can stop that after, I mean, if anybody has, oh, I had a judgment 7 years ago or 8 years ago, and then you're like, okay.
Highly unlikely have I ever heard it being, I haven't been in business that long to say that it's been. But, I mean, I've had clients had liens for 11 years and they don't, you know, they say, I had a lien, but it's not on the credit report anymore. It's only a matter of you go and you have to go to the courthouse and renew it physically. So most companies, they don't renew it unless you have, now, if you have an asset, you have a real estate, they could put a lien on that, that'll be there indefinitely.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason why we tell clients, once you purchase a home, let's change the habits that cause you to have bad credit, because now you're gonna own a home. Who cares if it's on the credit? Now that lien is on the property, now you can't do anything unless you sell, refi, that lien needs to be paid. So there's two types of liens.
Regardless, it will stay until you sell or you're...
Yeah, if you put it in your property, it won't be removed until you sell it or pay it off.
So no
There's
10
no way
years,
that
no 20 years,
no.
no nothing like that?
Nothing, no, it's there, it's there like a bean, it's gonna be there.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I always tell consumers, okay, I can delete a judgment from the credit report, but you still owe the debt. That debt's still gonna be recorded in the county
Okay.
house, so you have to take care of it, especially if you wanna buy property.
And there's interest over that, right, or no?
Sometimes they can add interest.
Yeah?
Yeah. But whenever we jump in and we help them settle, we try to help them settle for less.
For less than-
So I mean, whenever we settle collection accounts, we try to settle it anywhere as low as 20%. When the economy is doing good, like right now, they don't want to settle too much,
Right.
because they know that, you know, people have money to spend, so they don't really want to settle. We're getting offers as low as 40%. Very hard to get something under 40%, but we are able to get deletion letters
Right.
as well, which is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, so if you get able to settle it, stay on 60% plus get a deletion letter, that's gonna really boost the FICO scores versus just paying it off and then not, the account still being there, there's really no point on paying it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions, you guys?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
questions.
go ahead.
First, although you cannot delete the student loans, when they become current, can you delete the late payments they had before?
It's about a 10% chance I would, so I'd rather not focus, because I'm sure there's other areas that we can focus on that will help boost the credit score.
Okay.
Because that alone, that's gonna be very, very hard. And if I'm able to do it, it'll take 8 months. I don't want to waste 8 months of your client's time to give them 50 points. I could do other stuff that would get them 50 points in a month or two.
Okay, do you work through the dispute letters, the regular?
That is a traditional way, yes. That one is a longer process. That could take several months.
I know.
But depending, so it all depends. I like if you say me a referral, how soon does your client want to buy? Well, you know, they want to buy now. Like I want to put them in escrow as soon as possible. Okay. So I look for the fastest, most cost-effective way to improve the credit score, where I know disputing is not going to work, because that's going to take 3 or 4 months. If you want to put them in escrow now, I have to look at other means to be able to boost the credit right away. If there's collection accounts, we have to set up there's late payments, I'll be able to dispute those directly with the company. That should take about 30 days.
Okay, do you work through settlement when they have pending balances? Are you working like a debt settlement?
Accounts that are negative?
Yeah, are you negotiating?
Yes,
with
yeah,
them?
we do settle. One thing we don't do, we don't do debt consolidation. I don't collect payments for clients and then pay stuff off. No, I don't do that. I offer, say, if someone owes Macy's, they owe 5,000, I'm able to jump in there and help them set up for 2. And then in many cases, they're able to get a deletion letter, and they will delete it from the credit report. If it's a collection account, I'm always gonna get it. If it's a charge account, meaning like if it's a Macy's, if it's a Nordstrom, if it's an Amex, Visa, it's very hard. The original creditor, it's hard to get deletion letters. When it's in collections, because you don't have a relationship with that collection company, so they shouldn't even be reporting it. So long as they get their money, they'll delete it from the credit report. Yeah. So I mean, there's, man, go ahead, man.
When you get the deletion letter from them, are they also giving it to the credit reporting bureaus?
No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give that to your lender. And your lender could do a rapid rescore that would get it off the credit report in about a week. Yeah, so whoever's working with this client, like let's just say we have a client that we're helping increase the credit scores, I would love to be in contact with their lender. Because since he or she is a lender, they understand credit a little bit more than you. We speak the same language. I wanna be able to figure out with him or her the fastest way to, if I say deletion letters, they know what to do with them.
And what is a deletion letter?
So deletion letter is saying, you know what, if you pay me X amount of money, I'm gonna delete it from the credit report. It'll get forwarded to the credit bureaus, but I can't trust that they will. I don't know if they are. So what I do, I demand that in writing. Then I have the letter that says, payment made between John Doe and ABC Collection Company, we have set the payment of $1. We will submit a deletion to the credit agency. Now I have that letter with the company letterhead. I give that to your lender. He or she is able to do a rapid rescore that can remove it within about a week versus me sending it to the bureau and taking 45 days. That's something that's done faster. I had a client last week where I gave him 16 deletion letters and the score went up to 660 from a 580. And that was within a matter of a week. Yeah. So when you look at your clients, they have bad credit, don't see them as they don't qualify. There are many ways that I could improve the credit score. Just give them a chance. Don't just close the door and tell them you don't qualify because you don't want, I mean, they chose you out of many realtors. And I feel that due diligence, it's your job to keep that hope alive. And even if it takes 2 to 5 months, your broker here understands the power of building a solid pipeline. That's the reason why you want to work with the credit company, because you have those you can help now, and then you have those you can help in the next few months. You're still going to be in business. Why not have those people ready? One by one, they're buying because we help them with the credit. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Any other? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the cost goes case by case, or do you have like a flat fee?
Yeah, so whenever I'm going to add trade lines, the trade lines do have a flat fee. But when it comes to credit repair, the fees do vary depending on what needs to be done. I don't have a monthly ongoing fee. I don't have a fixed rate for everyone because everyone has a different scenario. So we really tailor the services to our clients based on what needs to be done. Do we have to settle? Do we have to do formal disputes? Do we have to issue deletion letters? So the way that it works is that you send over a client, what you could do is you could say, Rolando, here's a credit report, what can be done? I need a 640. Send you a summary of what I feel needs to be done, along with my price, and if you want me to contact your client. So that way you can read that to your client. It'll be detailed. We have to do A, B, C. This could be done in X amount of time. This is the fee, or this is option 2. Could be done, D, E, F, at this price. So that way you kind of let them know basic, and then I'll go ahead and jump in and elaborate more on what I can do. Because whenever I tell the client just the price, they're focusing on just the price. They're not really seeing the value behind that amount. And I want to sell the value. I don't sell price. That's why I don't have a set price. Because people say, what's it going to cost to make some amount of money? Well, no, that's okay. They don't see the value of what's going to come after them improving the credit score.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So let's say that I have a client that is, have this credit issue. First, a question that comes up from them is how much does it cost?
Yeah.
So, of course, what I will recommend them is, you should talk to this guy first. Do you charge anything for the consultation?
No, we do a free consultation. This is how I answer this question. It's going to sound silly, right? I always say, well, what is bad credit costing you, right? It's costing you a home. You can't buy a home.
So
But they don't understand the answer to that question. But that's kind of my answer. Well, what is it costing you? Yeah.
So sometimes they keep asking, just give me an idea, what would be the minimum?
Oh, yeah, so the minimum, my prices range between $400 to $900. That is the average.
Do you have payment options like
We have payment options as well, yes. Yeah, I mean, we don't want the price of our services to be the reason they don't fix their credit. That could be paid over time, but if they're paid over time, it's gonna take that much longer. Only reason because someone with bad credit, society says you're not trustworthy. So once they pay us, then we know they're committed. Believe me, the phones, they want results. Versus having to make a payment, they tend to, well, obviously you didn't make your payments, you're not gonna make mine. And believe me, that happens all the time. I have a list of invoices that just been unpaid because that's the reason why they have my credit, they don't make the payments on time, so my payment is not gonna be made on time. And like I say, 80% of the time it's not made on time, and it just prolongs the process. The reason we wanted to pay in full is because, so they're all the way in, they're not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? They want, if I paid you, I want results. And believe me, once they pay in full, they want them when we give it to them. Yes?
How do you associate the respective derogatory credit collection, whatever it is that you've decided, that let's say you've got a 2-week plan. I think these are the things I can do in a 2-week plan. How do you convert those line items on the credit to scores? This is all about scores usually. So you say, I have a 580, I need to go to 640, and you look through it. How do you convert?
That is a great
and
question.
know how
Yes.
you're going to get that number?
Okay, so when it comes to credit report, a great question, thank you for asking that question. I don't only look at what's negative, I look at what's positive. When you have positive, how are you maintaining that? Are you maxed out? How old are your credit cards? How old are your accounts? If your accounts are too new, they're not really helping your credit. So to answer your question, I look at the positive, what that consumer has positive. If that person only has negative but no positive, they be paying off the accounts. There's nothing there to help boost the credit score. But if this person has maybe 5 credit cards, maybe he has a car and he has 3 credit cards, but those credit cards are maxed out to the kind, you know what, I'm gonna do this, but you have to pay on your credit cards to 10%. Not 35, 10%. 35 is what everyone promotes, but the number is 10% to really have the biggest impact on the credit score. So I take a look at the positive side as well, because that's gonna have the most impact. Because think about it, there's this many negative items. You might have 2 positive accounts, but these negative are overshadowing the positive. Once we clear this up, the positive will stand out, will give you the most points. But if there's no credit or you're maxed out, or you might have some late payments, it's not going to balance out correct. Does that answer your question?
Almost, because I'm
Okay.
trying to say that if their client pays $750 for 7 items that you've got a 2-week plan.
Yes.
And you say, I need 640, and you do those things, and it's 639, how do you?
Okay, great, so
how do you gain to know
yeah.
that this is gonna give you that many points to get me there? The client may walk away a little bit disappointed.
I completely understand, yes. Okay, so we do come across those scenarios quite often where we anticipate, okay, this is what's gonna happen, and it's supposed to get us to 640, it doesn't get us there. So I work with the lender to figure out what could be done. To get to 640, one way or the other is possible. Now, if you have a lot of derogatories and you want a 720, it's likely not gonna happen. I'm not even gonna say no, it's not gonna happen. But to get a 640, that's still considered subprime. There is no way I'm not gonna get you there. Even if it's me having to, for the sake of our relationship, if I have to come out of pocket and add a trade line, that's gonna cost me, but we're able to salvage our relationship, and you move forward and you close that deal, I'm the hero, because I came through. And it might cost me a little bit more, I might lose money, but I'm gonna get your referrals. So one way or the other, I'm gonna bend backwards to make sure your client gets to a 640, versus saying, I'm sorry, if you pay me, I'm done. That's what my industry has. A lot of people in my industry do that, and that's why I'm gonna say, you know what, no, I'm gonna shoot nails with you, and I've done a few of those, where, you know what, I bent over backwards and I lost a little, but I didn't lose because I'm still half their business. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I probably went a little bit too long.
Thank you. Give a hand to Rolando. We want you to commit to come in one more time. How's that? I think you got
Sure.
a lot of information to share around.
Yeah, definitely, I would love to.
So,
There's so much to talk about, to condense it in 15 minutes is kind of right.
Right. Well, thank you for coming by. Appreciate that. And then you're gonna stick around.
I'll
for
stick around,
questions,
yes.
right?
There's some
All right. Well, thank you. Give it a hand again
Thank
for
you.
Rolando. Thank you.